Jamie, your primary preaching point for this message was that when we truly understand and experience who Jesus is, we can turn our fear into faith.
Yep.
And that's very powerful. But there could be somebody there who wants to know, how do I do that? What do I do? Give me something practical. So if you could share with us all maybe 2, 3 things that we can do in order for us to understand who Jesus truly is, and that we can experience him as well as he truly is. And hopefully that experience will overcome our feelings of anxiety and fear.
Yeah, that's a good question. And and there's plenty of things that we can do to bolster our faith and to try to have the kind of experience with the Lord that will allow us to see him for who he really is. Probably the first starting place, and I know some of us have done this before, but we need to stay at it, is to read and experience him in the gospel accounts. In other words, I mean, really, I've joked it before about, the daily crouton that many of us get when it comes to the bread of God's word, and some of us really need to go beyond that, and to say, hey, for the next 30 days, I'm going to spend, a chapter a day in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And as you read those, read it slowly and just ask yourself, who is this Jesus that I'm following? What is it that he wants from me? And then don't just go on and turn Law and Order on after that or whatever, but stop and spend some time in prayer then, and reflection and quietness before him, asking him to reveal more and more of himself to you. I think that's the first step, that many of us need to just get more alone with God and more time in his word and in prayer. I heard a phrase years ago in which the guy said that Bibles that are falling apart usually belong to people who aren't. And I think in many ways that's true. And I can tell a lot about a person when I meet with them in a restaurant, just looking at their Bible. And if it looks brand new and dusty, I know that there's probably not as rich of an experience with the Lord as that person could have. So that would be the first thing I guess I would share that would be something that you could do. I think another thing I would ask you to do is to, as you give your mind and your heart more to him, allow your brokenness, and we all have it, the broken areas of our lives, to allow yourself to lay those things before him, not trying to control them, fix them, change them necessarily, but allow him to move in your life and even in and through your brokenness. I think of the scriptures that talk about the fact that a broken, contrite heart he will not turn away, he will not despise. And it's really true. And so again, it matters the disposition of how we come to God, not just we come to him, but our disposition. And allow the disposition of your broken heart to be laid before him in such a way that will connect you with him. I think a third way that we can also bolster our faith in our experience of Christ, recognizing who he is to not do it alone. Studies have shown that those of us who tend to do life together within Christian community with accountability and input and encouragement tend to fare a lot better. In fact, the Christian life was never meant to be done alone. And so whether that means joining a small group for you or a Bible study, or whether in the community here in church or an enrichment class, which my friend Joe here runs, whatever that might be here for you, just do that. And don't do it alone, and allow iron to sharpen iron, as the scriptures say. So those are just a few thoughts of how to keep you engaged in realizing and recognizing who Christ is. And as you do those things, truly, fear can be turned more into faith.